behave like you're a newcomer. Every time you get a new project, behave like you're a newcomer.
Fair
right?
enough.
Because that's when you will put your best foot forward.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll get complacent, right? And that's what I do. That's what I did in Cannes. There's a strategy which is put into place because everybody knows how it works,
Yes.
right? Who's putting the strategy for you? There's nobody putting a strategy for you. There's nobody telling you whether this is right, this is wrong. For them, there'll be a lot of doors open. For you, there are maybe 0.1% of that door which is open, and some of them you really have to like nudge it open, to please see me, please see me. But all said and done, I would have to say you got to play the game the way it's played.
Okay.
Because any industry, and not only our industry,
Yeah.
um, if I had a company, I'm not going to go and give it to even the best worker. I'm not going to go and hand it over to him, right? So it is what it is. You can't fight that. When you're an outsider, you don't wait for things to come to you. You start hustling your way through.
Good morning, this is Manjusha Radhakrishnan from Gulf News. I'm the entertainment editor, and today it gives me great pleasure to interview our Dubai boy, as we call him, Taaha Shah. He was a steel trader before he made a Bollywood splash, and today we have him acting in Sanjay Leela productions like Heermandi, which was this epic spectacle where he played this royal. It's very interesting to see his journey. In fact, Gulf News has chronicled and documented his growth. I remember speaking to him before his first movie with Yash Raj, youth-centric films, and then how he went on to do better projects, etc. So we've been a part of his struggle, and we are so happy to see him reap the benefits of actually going to Mumbai and making it on his own steam. So we are going to talk to Taaha Shah. Be tuned. Taaha, it's amazing to see you in your own turf in Dubai. We have been documenting your growth since 2008, I want to say, when you moved to Bombay. 2009, yes, 2009, and what a journey it's been. Now he's in a Sanjay Leela Bansali epic spectacle.
I have to take a shout out and just say that you have always been very kind. Even when there was nothing with me, nothing around me. I was nothing. But you have always been very kind, and you have always been very supportive.
As the best. No, the reason why we love supporting homegrown UAE talents is because it takes a lot of courage for you to leave your, you had a steel company, your dad you could have inherited a company, but you chose to go to Bombay and be a hustler, which takes a lot of courage. And I think it's a leap of faith, right? So how do you look back on that entire, jump?
You can't, like, I can't really judge that. But when my friends meet me, like they met me 2 days ago, and they're like, what thought came to your mind that made you actually want to take that leap of faith? Because you didn't know anybody. Tu wahan pe kabhi gaya nahi. You never went there. Then what? You dropped out of university, and hum jante the ki tu wapas kabhi nahi aane wala hai. All right? And you left all your friends, you left all your education, and by the end of it, we are so proud of you, man. Because all of us, everybody wanted to be either a musician, or they wanted to be this, they wanted to be that, but nobody really took the plunge. I think it's a win, not only for me, but for all my friends. At that moment of time, I just wanted to, at the financial crisis which happened,
Yes.
I made a decision. I will invest all my efforts into myself, no matter what the financial crisis, nobody can take that away from me. No money, nothing, no financial crisis will be able to take my skills, my talents that I have put my efforts in. So I believe that for anybody nowadays, I think it's very important to kind of ignite their flame. And any kid, anybody who's growing up right now, their parents should kind of like just ignite their flame rather than want them to be something they're not.
True.
Just kind of like push them in that direction. Then it doesn't matter कि आप luxury में रहो या आप एक one bedroom में रहो, but as long as you love what you're doing,
Yeah.
you're happy.
I was talking to Kartik Aryan for Chandu Champion, and he was telling me that the other kids, the ones with access and privilege, have it easier in the sense everything is handed to them. They get multiple chances. In your case, do you believe that it's true? Like, it's not easy to make it on your own steam?
100% what he said is right. They definitely get more chances than we do. जैसे आप तो मुझे पहले से जानते हो, and after Love Ka, the end did not work.
Yes.
Then people wrote me off. It was very difficult for me. After 2 years, I got Gippy. Then again, after 2 years, I got another film. So otherwise, for people who have the privilege, there's a strategy which is put into place because everybody knows how it works.
Yes.
Right? Who's putting the strategy for you? There's nobody putting a strategy for you. There's nobody telling you whether this is right, this is wrong. You know, for them, there'd be a lot of doors open. For you, there are maybe 0.1% of that door which is open, and some of them you really have to like nudge it open, you know, to please see me, please see me. But all said and done, I would have to say you got to play the game the way it's played.
Okay.
Because any industry, and not only our industry,
Yeah.
um, if I had a company, I'm not going to go and give it to even the best worker. I'm not going to go and hand it over to him, right? So it is what it is. You can't fight that. When you're an outsider, you don't wait for things to come to you. You start hustling your way through. It's really the survival of the fittest after that. And again, one thing is true, हमारी इंडस्ट्री में जो भी सुपरस्टार हुआ है वो हमेशा बाहर से आया हुआ है.
That is true. Look
That
at
is
Shah Rukh
true.
Khan. He is the biggest
Shah
success
Rukh,
story we can
Akshay
think
sir.
of.
Yeah, he's the biggest success story, but there's Akshay sir, there's him, there's Bachchan sir.
Yes.
You know,
There's
there's
Deepika
Rajesh Khanna,
Padukone.
there's Deepika Padukone.
Yeah.
Outsiders.
Priyanka Chopra.
Priyanka Chopra. Outside, she's making her way globally.
Yeah.
You know, because the fire is within. So I think that is something that only outsiders can have.
So how did Sanjay Leela Bansali work out? Did you, was it your fire in your belly where you went and said, listen, I can do this? Because it was meant to go to like Pakistani heartthrob. I don't know if it's true, but yes, apparently Fawad Khan was supposed to play it. But you stepped into his shoes. That's a large shoes to fill.
Very, very large shoes to fill. I love Fawad sir. I think, you know, even the small comparison that people are having of me with Fawad sir, I think that's very humbling. I think because he's a supremely talented actor.
He is good.
Right? So all respect, all respect. Thank you. Even if I'm a little bit of you, I love it.
You did a good job though. I mean, you know,
I
the
really
fact is
hope
you
so.
are in Heermandi and you played this Lord. Interesting character though. Towards the end, it was very complex as well. But how did you get this role? Let's start from the beginning. How did you impress Sanjay Leela Bansali?
I didn't impress him at all actually.
Oh, wow.
I think it was 15 months of chasing the casting director to give me an audition. And then I think she got tired of me. And my friend Tushar like stopped calling, man, here, take this audition. And it was for a 3-day role.
Okay.
All right. And we said, you know what, we'll do it. We'll do it. So we did the audition, we got selected.
For the
signed
3-day
contract
role?
For a 3-day role.
Ah,
And I got selected. You won't even see that person in the series, right? Blink and miss.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So after that, I randomly get a call saying that Sanjay sir wants to meet you. So I say, okay, why does he want to meet me for a 3-day role? But I never met him, so I said, okay, fine, it is a good opportunity to interact. So मैं वहाँ पे चला गया, उनसे मैं मिला, and then he asked me about my past. I told him. He just said that you've done a lot of work, but nobody knows you.
Yes.
I said, yeah, well, I'm sorry, I'm trying, you know, but
It's harsh when they
it's-
tell you that. But
yeah,
it's a fact
it's
as
a
well.
fact. And
It's a
I'm
fact.
used to the things. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, it's completely fine. Thank you for at least understanding and listening to me, you know. But then he's like, you know what, Shruti, isko ye role mat de, give him the other role. Give him the role of Balraj.
Oh, Balraj.
Right, Balraj, who
Oh,
was my
okay.
best friend.
Yeah.
Right, I said, and it was a revolutionary character.
Yeah.
Ye to blink and miss tha, 30 days. I said, sir, thank you, sir. Then I was waiting, ki contract ho. Then 2 weeks later, I was about to go sign the contract.
Yeah.
And I get a call from them saying that, sorry, but sir has changed his mind. I said, dude, lanat hai, because every time, dude, every time
happens.
something good happens, something bad happens. Right, bad as in I get replaced.
I know, you get rejected.
You get rejected, you're taken out, somebody replaces you, like you said, those, you know, influential people, whatever, right? But it didn't hurt me because I was so used to it by then, you know, for 13 years, I'm like, oh, you know what. So I went back because he wanted to meet me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I just literally just went and I pleaded to him. I held his hand, held his leg down, like, sir, look, I'm so sorry if I messed up, but don't remove me. This is the biggest opportunity of my life. I really beg you, please. He's, you know, very kindly, he said, beta, sit down. So I went, I sat down, and then he's like, I saw your look test. Kuch to hai teri aankhon mein. I want you for the lead role of my project, Tajdar Baloch.
Oh.
You know, and that's where it all started. From there, I had the look test, I had the auditions. A month, he said, nobody called me back. And I was dying inside, right, expecting what to happen. So I called Shruti, ma'am. Shruti is like, you know, sir hasn't told me yet, how will I tell you? I said, ma'am, I don't want the lead role. I am very happy, thank you, ma'am. Please just sign me on for that so that I know that I've gotten something, right? Because literally I was written off from the industry. Nobody was giving me jobs, nobody was giving me auditions.
Yeah, you were clutching at straws at that point,
Yeah,
right? This was
anything.
year 2000 and
2000 and what 24, so 2021 or 22,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
So I'm like, please, just please. During that time that I was waiting for them to call me back, if they called me back, was that because he already had somebody else. He had already signed somebody
Oh,
else.
wow.
So this was your just a if and but situation happening.
Terrible though, right?
And
It's like a job interview. You
yeah,
know
complete.
you're in the running, but you're not the first
But
choice.
you're not the first choice. Then I got a couple of projects offered to me, which is very lucky for me. And I got one international project that was getting good money. I needed money, right? I need money.
You need to survive.
I need to survive.
The boys
And
got to
it's
eat.
got to eat. You got to have a certain kind of, just for anything you need to go out and to meet people, whatever. You need some
Yeah.
money. I got those three projects. I was stalling the contracts for about a month and a half. Now 3 months had passed, okay, and nothing. All right, and I had the day I had to decide whether I get those projects, I signed them, or they were going to throw me out.
Uh-huh.
So I said, okay. So they were all sitting and they called me, and I'm like, you know what? Cancel the projects.
Right.
So I took a big risk. Now I had no projects, no money, no call from Ansari. That's it. I was zero. I was back to the ground.
Oh my
zero.
God, back to
And,
ground zero. It's terrible.
3 days later, I get a call from him saying that you're my Tajdar, come to set. But those 3 months and 3 days, how did it go? Especially those last 3 days, nothing. Those
You're
days
like,
really
you're
bad.
ready to pack up almost, is
Yeah.
it? No, but working with Sanjay Leela Bansali, it's notorious. Apparently, he's transformative. He's career defining, which is true. But also, he puts you through the grind. Let's not forget. But you did very well. You looked almost like, you were born in that feudal era. Like you had that, what do you call it? That gravitas.
To be honest, the universe has put me through so much pressure and turbulence in life that Mr. Bhansali almost seemed like he was kind to me.
Oh, it didn't seem like it's like, this
No.
is water off my back.
Like people have always been telling me a lot of stories. He did this, he said this, he does this. He was the kindest to me. Kindest, matlab, I feel that when you are professional and when you are educated and you've come in with a certain kind of education in your craft, he sees that. He sees that you're not just a run-of-the-mill kind of person who hasn't done education, who knows what he's doing. When he knows that you know what you're doing, the first few days, first week, especially those romantic scenes जब मैं ऐसे में देखता हूँ वो सब,
Yeah.
2 takes. He gave me only 2 takes. He gave me
Nice.
thing. He's like 1 take. He just said this is what it is. He wouldn't even explain to me. He said I understood this thing and I gave it to him and he's like, बंदा अच्छा है.
But that's amazing. And season 2, what can you tell us?
But I don't even know. It's a surprise to all of us, to be very honest.
You don't know what you're doing, right?
I don't.
It's like Joey saying, I have no clue
I
what's
have
going
no
to
clue.
happen.
Dude, we didn't
in
even
the
know they were going to
series.
launch season 2. Literally,
Really?
Netflix launched it in Carter Road. When it got launched on Instagram is when we knew that they launched season 2.
Oh, so aren't you guys told before that?
We
Aren't
don't get told
actors told?
anything.
I love it.
We don't-
Actors have zero
We
knowledge.
have I had zero knowledge of the script. I didn't get the script. He said, "Come, you're my Taja, come to set."
Yeah.
And I didn't have the. I mean, nobody could even. I couldn't even ask him for the script.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah,
"Okay,
yeah.
I'm coming." मैं आ
Yeah.
गया. And then the next day when we were actually getting ready, script. I mean, not script, scene.
Scene. Oh, wow.
That's it. Now you decide what's the backstory, front story, and आके perform करो. Like there was.
But you
literally
did
no
well.
script.
But you did well.
Yeah, I mean, of course, I bugged them with a lot of questions, of course.
Yeah.
What happened here? What happened here? What's this? What's that? What's that? But I never, nobody gets a script, literally. So on the launch date, Netflix had given us a paper, like an A4 paper
Yeah.
with all the do's and don'ts, say this, don't say this, and a little history or brief about all the characters in the story. We were learning new information on that day. कि
Brand new
अच्छा, ये भी
information.
हुआ है. So we didn't have any information, to be honest. It was just given your part.
Right.
That's it. Rest of it was just in Mr. Bansali's mind.
Okay.
Really, that's it.
You got a lot of love. The reviews were so good. But your on-screen interest, of course, was slated, okay? I mean, universally slated. For whatever it is, do you go to her and what is the kind of advice you can give to her? Because it's not easy, right? Nothing is personal, but it still feels personal when somebody slates you.
See, I don't think I have the I don't think I'm worthy enough to give her kind of any advice, especially when you're in the midst of the greatest director in the world, and that too, who is her uncle. So I think that any advice which she should be getting is only from this great man. I know I can only talk from my experience that I have seen her put her best foot forward every day she's on set, She's on time. She has always given logical explanations on the scenes as to why this should happen or should not happen. And that's the only thing that a person can do. The rest of it is a perception of the audience that I cannot change, anybody cannot change. It's a huge project,
Yeah.
right? And Sanjay sir is a perfectionist, and he would never give anybody a chance. He's given me a chance. I mean, I had nothing, right? So he would never give anybody a chance who he doesn't believe in.
Okay, fair
Right.
enough. Fair
So I
enough.
think that's the most important thing, that he believes in her, and I think that's the most important thing.
Right, and then you also headed to Cannes. Taha, what were you doing there? You need to tell me. Like, what was that all about? Were you just networking, and you have no problem of saying I was networking? Like, I wanted to make contacts, see what's out there.
See, I went to Cannes because Heermandi became a success, right? My character was being loved so much, and I felt like all these years I wanted to go, but I had nothing to speak about. So now I had something big to speak about. So I wanted to go and push this out as much as possible. Like even now that I'm here, I want more and more audience to see it. I want more and more audience to love it.
Yes.
So that is definitely one thing I wanted. The second thing I wanted to do was I wanted to go there to expand my dreams. This is a world hub of filmmakers, right? It's not just Indian filmmakers or just Arab filmmakers. It was worldwide, right? There were pavilions from around the globe. And I love networking. It gives me a high, right? It really gives me a high. So my team has prepared all my business cards, and I was going and I was giving my cards away.
Nice.
I built contacts all across the globe now. Film commissions, ambassadors.
You just put yourself
directors.
out there.
Yeah, you need to always, in the back of your head, always tell that you're a newcomer. Behave like you're a newcomer. Every time you get a new project, behave like you're a newcomer.
Fair
right?
enough.
Because that's when you will put your best foot forward.
Right.
Otherwise, you'll get complacent, right? And that's what I do. That's what I did in Cannes. And lucky for me, I had to also launch another film, right? It was a film called Paro, and it's a film about bride slavery,
Oh,
which happens up in Mewat.
where is that?
This is above Haryana.
Oh, okay. So you're in that movie, and when is it out?
We made this for the festivals.
So
now
it's going to travel the
It's going
festivals.
to travel
Fantastic.
to Toronto, Venice,
lovely.
Red Sea Film Festival, and once it does 8-9 months of festivals, that's when we will have a proper release date.
Excellent.
I've always been to film festivals, and I know the kind of audience which goes there is different.
Yes,
Right.
they're very different.
They're
Red
very
Sea is very different from even Marrakesh.
Marrakesh, right?
Yeah.
And,
They have.
and I feel that that is a market that I want to tap into too, right? I also want to do commercial, and Shah Rukh Khan is my idol, so like those kind of films. But at the same time, I also want to do the festival and go like the Nawaz and the Irfan and those kind of ways. to
Yes.
that. I think
it's a mix of both.
It's a mix of both, and if I can be blessed to kind of balance out and do two good things at the same time, then why not?
Why not? Okay, last question. Of course, I know there are many people in Dubai who want to try acting, right? But they don't want to go to Bollywood for the hustle. But do you think how important is it to actually be in the epicenter of? You have to make the move, take that plunge. Do you think that?
I think there's no doubt, there's no question on that really. You need to be at the place where you want work. I mean, if anybody thinks otherwise, then they are fooling themselves. You cannot sit over here and expect to get work over there. It's just not going to happen. The world is too big, the world is moving too fast, and on a statistics rate, there's at least just 1,000 to 2,000 actors coming into Mumbai every day.
Wow, it's tough.
All right, 2,000. I'm giving you a small number. All right, but you can just imagine 2,000 actors per day, every day, multiply by 30, multiply by.
Yes.
Yeah, you can just imagine.
Of course.
Right.
Per year.
Per
Yeah.
year, right? So this is just a small little percentage. So it's impossible. It's
So you
just
got to be there.
You have to be there. I mean, you can get supporting characters. Maybe if they want somebody from Dubai, okay. But once you get there, then only diction, language, tone, communication, way of being, behaving, everything needs to change.
Thank you so much, Taha, and
Thank you.
congratulations on your success. Very happy
Thank
for
you for having me. Thank you guys. Thank you
Always
so
a
much.
pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.